Stephen Walker for Winona Radio, and this weekend you should mosey on down to the Horse, of course, formerly the Black Horse, because there's a big, huge benefit going on. And to that end, I'm joined by Alex Biggis and Aaron Hoover. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing all right. First and foremost, why don't you talk a little bit about what the Khmer Sobriety Project is?
Well, it started from a trip that we took out to Cambodia in December of 2009. We went just with our school through Rochester Community and Technical College, and it started just from a school project where I decided, since I'm going to school to be an alcohol and drug counselor, I would sort of compare and contrast the situation here to what it's like over there. And once we got over there and once we started doing some research, it really turned out that they don't have a lot of help available, especially voluntary help. You know, most of the treatment that they get is sort of this boot camp style, very, very outdated modality that it's essentially given to them as an alternative to prison for drug crimes. And so, I mean, in this day and age, it's basic human rights. You know, you shouldn't be starving and beating your residents.
Is there a high recidivity rate over there?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that there was a huge genocide in the 80s. You know, the Khmer Rouge, they came in, they wiped out everybody that they thought was educated. They just kind of wanted to clean the slate, wipe it all back to year zero is what they called it. And since that time, they've missed out on decades of advancements, one in political structure. So, I mean, it's really hard to get. I mean, statistics in particular are very hard to get because the structure just isn't there. And they've also missed out on all of this progress that was made in linking addiction to both psychology and medicine. But they're so reluctant to do that as well, just because as a country, since they've had such an atrocity happen to them, they hold on so tightly to the values and the culture that they have left. So, you know, when missionary groups come in, they're usually very, very unsuccessful. And that's why our approach is that we really want to keep in with the values and the culture in Cambodia, you know, because it's a beautiful country. I mean, they stand for great things there. And we feel like everybody deserves to have a place to go if they want and need help, you know, to stop using drugs.
You took this trip, how long ago was it now?
It was about almost 2 years ago. It was 2009.
What kind of things did you guys do when you were there that really stuck out?
Well, what stuck out for me was the fact that each student could pick a project and kind of mold the trip around what they wanted to do while they were there, while, you know, taking into account the culture that was there and trying to keep like a healthy respect for not trying to change people, but we were just trying to change certain situations. Like, we would go into a village and we would raise the money beforehand. We'd put in a well so that people could have clean drinking water. Or we would go to a school and we would build a toilet for people to use, because over there, you know, there aren't a lot of bathrooms for children to use at school. And unfortunately, especially with fields surrounding these schools, this is a country that still has landmines buried that they haven't found yet. And so to be sending children out into a field to use the bathroom, like, this is a dangerous situation.
What was the reception like from your standpoint? How did you feel when you were received over there?
Actually, everybody was very, very welcoming. You know, people there, they're happy to see you. Like, they want to sit down and they want to share with you and they want to talk to you about their experiences. Okay. And they want to hear a little about your experiences too.
Is there a planned trip back?
Yes. Actually, we're planning to go again in the same time frame as the students in Rochester this year. So it would be the end of December, you know, to the middle of January. So just a quick little trip, but we're not going as students this second time around, which will actually, I think, be very helpful because we'll be able to break away from the group. Because that's the thing, we were very welcomed, but we were a van full of Americans all wearing the same shirt, you know, just an entire tour bus full of people. And I can imagine that once you actually kind of get more into the heart of Cambodia, where it's just, you know, where there's just a few of you, you really get more of a sense of what the culture is actually like when they're not, because they do change around tourists.
Well, I was actually just going to ask, and this sounds like the stereotypical ignorant American, but how dangerous is it to do work like this over there? Because it is dangerous as a tourist, especially.
Right, but it does depend. See, the thing is, if we were going over there saying, hey, all of you that are doing drugs, we're going to stop it. We're going to go over there and we're going to pull you into our center and make you better. And that's the approach that some people have when they go to, you know, countries that they don't really understand. And that's so not at all our approach to it. The thing is, if we are open as a voluntary center, which is what we're working towards, you know, that just the idea of having a place to go if you need it doesn't exist there right now. And so I feel like if the people are making the choices for themselves, then we won't be, you know, stepping on the toes of the wrong people. There's always going to be a level of danger involved, especially with there's a lot of government corruption and a lot that we're going to have to work through. But rather than taking the easy way out that a lot of people do when they start organizations in these countries where they just pay off the government so that they can do whatever, that just sort of perpetuates the problem. So it may take 5 years, it may take 10 years, but we're going to take the time and make sure that, you know, every angle is covered and that we're doing it right and that we're doing it for the right reason.
Without sounding too pie in the sky, what's the end result? Hopefully.
Hopefully we would have a treatment center that I've actually just recently we've been working towards getting in touch more with academia, because as far as getting an active staff, you know, of counselors and of psychologists and doctors and nurses, that's the sort of thing that, one, you need to have a certain level of training to be doing that. I mean, we can't just be hiring anybody to run this center.
Right.
But at the same time, a lot of the organizations that fail, it's because of just stagnation and corruption, just from having the same people around, and, you know, maybe the government makes their way inside it, and it just falls apart. So if we were to get in with academia, turn it into sort of an internship where people can come out and they can work for a couple months, you know, just kind of rotating throughout the year, that would have enough, you know, fresh faces that it wouldn't become corrupted, but at the same time they would have a much higher caliber of treatment than they're currently getting.
Did Cambodia leave an indelible mark on you, Erin?
Yeah, I would say so, especially considering that I'm going back. It was an amazing experience.
Now, when you were over there, you said that you put a well in. How is this different? Because this sounds like it's even more from the ground up. I mean, there isn't. You have to put the building in before you can put the bathroom in, if I'm sounding correctly, right?
You know, it's going to be a challenge, but I think it's a challenge that we can meet and that, you know, we are ready for. We're definitely doing our homework when it comes to what we're going to need in order to start this with our nonprofit. You know, when we go over with the school group, there is a level of protection there. You know, there's a level of safety almost, because we're choosing these smaller projects and we're incorporating them and making them real. But at the same time, it was good, and it was a good experience because we were able to take those and use it as a launch pad into something much bigger, which is what we're doing now.
Enough doom and gloom. You're going to get some sober people over there, but this weekend we are going to find a bunch that will not be. So it is the Khmer Sobriety Project, the first annual benefit. It's being held at the Horse Bar and Grill, formerly the Black Horse, out there on Highway 61. What can we expect on Saturday?
Well, there's going to be live music throughout. It's from 2 to 9:30, so they're actually having a full staff on. Usually they're not open on Saturdays. But they're opening up and they're having everybody ready to roll just for us. So it's wonderful.
And we have, you know, activities for the kids. This is all ages and no covers. So Kids Sport of Winona has been kind enough to loan us a bounce house for the day.
Nice.
We have a few children's games set up, and there will be live music throughout the day. We have the Bootleggers, Hobo Jones. Monologue is coming down from the Twin Cities with special guests. We have our very own Steve Walker here with his lovely wife, Michelle.
They're awesome.
So we have quite an arrangement, and then Matt Horn will also be playing some guitar for us too.
Excellent. So live music and a whole lot of fun going down at the Horse Bar and Grill. Like we said, no cover charge, just coming out, have a good time, and find out more about the Khmer Sobriety Project. I keep wanting to say Khmer Society. And there will be a auction as well with a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. Donating something?
Yarnology from downtown Winona is donating. We also have a donation of a 90-minute massage from Jessica at Absolute Salon. We have 4 photo session packages from Tanya at TJB Photography, which is an absolutely amazing deal. She'll take up to 5 people for one session for each of these 4. And she does just fantastic work. And then we also have a tattoo session from Tattoo Royale with Amato, and he does some amazing work as well. So we're really looking forward to this.
Yep, all of those items they'll be available through a silent auction that people can bid on through the night, and then we'll announce the winners near the end of the evening.
Excellent. So. Runs from 2 to 9:30 this Saturday, like we said. Excuse me, no No cover charge, that's the word I'm looking for. But there will be the and silent auction going on, live music. Like we said, the bootleggers will be there, Monologue, Matt Horn, Hobo Jones, okay, and then my wife and I as well. Might I say Stephen Michelle, probably the best. No, I'm kidding. We'll go early, but I am emceeing, so if you want to come and say hello to me, please do. And do it all afternoon from 2 until 9:30 this Saturday at the Horse Barn Grill. Did we cover it all, guys?
I believe so.
I believe so.
All right. So come help out Cambodia, help out some fine, upstanding southeastern Minnesota residents, and have yourself a beer or two this weekend at the